responsible solely for the telephony system, that is do the picking up of the phone. Use the computer, of course, not the hand. Okay, it's not mechanical. Okay,
Yeah.
It's a code in the code that you be able. Oh, I also be able this system. I also be able to dial out, no problem. I be able to type a phone number and click a call, and it will call the phone number and it will connect. That is done. Okay, and the whole driver I downloaded, and it has description and how to use it. I have all those. I will supply you. Okay, and so I preferable. I think it has its own. I forget it's a C++ or Java that I was using. I played with both actually. So you guys can play with too and see how it goes. When you guys are ready, I'll bring the device to you. Okay, so that you guys, basically speaking, the devices need. It is a internet telephone box that it's wired that you can plug into the Ethernet cable, and there's another jack goes to the modem, and the modem use USB to go to computer, and you write a computer program right there, so you can run the computer program, and it can see the calling out, or you can see the caller ID at this moment. Okay.
When you say driver, what's a driver?
Driver is a software piece that connects device. That's a driver. You'd never use that term. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. Yeah, I worked in the computer industry long time ago. As I said, DOS age, right? 20-some years ago. And the driver that we refer to is you're writing a software piece using a computer to control hardware. The modem is a hardware. The computer you develop is a software running. So the software communicating with the modem. Because modem is the one that gets the information who is calling and where to call, and the modem will decide to do. So it's a driver. As I said, if you know one driver, then when you put it in your work resume, you will say, I did this driver, which means I can do anything. That kind of thing. Give you another example. When I was working, one time, a company had a difficult job, which is transfer. We do a map system. For pupil transportation, the school bus, we try to optimize it. That's the software company I worked for 5 years. And one time, a school district says, we already have the map that drawn in AutoCAD, okay? And can you guys transfer this map into the database of your system so that we can directly run the program without the cost of digitizing it into it? So my boss was asking me, can you help to transfer the AutoCAD to our own in-house system?
Wow.
And my boss gave me two weeks to do it, to develop a software that take the data from the AutoCAD into our own house system.
Yeah.
And he gave me a book of AutoCAD.
Wow.
And I read it. I try to find the information, as you said, where the driver is and how the data was allocated, when they saved in their database, right? So after I flipped through the whole book, I found some information in the appendix. Appendix describe, the data format is that kind of thing. So I said, as long as I know the data format and how they store it, I can pull it out and plug it into our own house system, because I know my own house system inside out. I know where to store information. So I quickly read a driver, read it in every note, right? Every section of the street, read it in, put it over there. I finished in half a day.
2 weeks, half a day?
Yeah.
Wow.
2 weeks job, I have a day. I told my boss, you should pay me more. So that's some of the challenges that, as I said, driver. That is a driver I was writing. Even though I don't interface with hardware, I was interface a different software package, a database. That's a driver too. The AutoCAD database to to the in-house database. That's a driver I'm writing to interfacing. Now you're writing the software interfacing with the modem. That is what I'm driving. Very good question, though. If you don't understand, you just ask. Okay, I have somewhat background in computer science. That's why I think this project can be fun to work with you guys, and even probably sometimes give you some new ideas you never heard of. You know, because every school is giving you certain area of study in the course. You'll never be broad enough. But when you go to industry, you will be interfacing a lot of things.
Awesome. So just to recap,
Yeah.
if I understood correctly, you have 8 parts, more or less, like or two.
We don't. Yeah, two parts.
2 parts.
Yeah,
Like you mentioned, like 8 different or so.
Yeah,
You
8.
said like
Yeah,
you want-
those 8 parts is relatively simple, as I said. You know, just a link.
Yeah.
Interface-wise, I want it to be as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Of course, before it gets to the interface, I want it to have a login. Because it's a member system, I want to have a login system to
Right.
keep
Right.
track of. So the 8 parts of here, the interface part, I think you guys capable of doing. I have no doubt, Berkeley student. If you guys don't know how to do that, I said you're not graduating. That part is easy.
Yeah.
But a database behind it need to keep track of who logged it in how long. And
Yeah.
those information need to be, also I would like to have a donation page that if somebody is thinking is helpful to them, they need to want to contribute some money, we will take some donation money.
Okay.
That's also easy linking to PayPal, I think, can do that. You know, take a credit card and all those. Yeah. So that is the thing that
Right.
I want to. So any
And then you also mentioned the other major features would be the chat and
chat is a plugin.
plugin,
We can just download it and link it into it. It's just like an MP3 link. Play MP3 in your web page. It's very easy.
Yeah.
Now I want it to be done in a cell phone format though.
And then what? Right?
Cell phone.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
cell
in the
phone.
cell phone format,
Okay.
because that's the future. Currently, people using cell phone, because all the feature I'm talking about here is relatively simple.
Yes.
Okay, so cell phone is capable of doing it. Okay, now, how many people are using cell phone and have cell phone available to them on hand in the working situation? It's marvelous. Okay, and the people owning cell phone is a computer. It's just a small computer.
Just to clarify,
Yeah.
you want your mentors to use a cell phone, or you want the people calling in?
No, the people calling in have to use the cell phone to
yeah,
call
there
in,
you
right? And the mentor also uses cell phone.
So you want them to use the cell phone, the mentors?
Both. No, computer can be used too. So computer interface usually you develop first,
Yeah.
and then it to make a M version. You know,
Yeah.
mobile
Yeah.
version. That's it. You know, these two should be very similar.
Yeah.
Because my interface is so simple, basically, if I can actually draw your place. Now, you do not list, the interface should be, you will have 1, 2, 3, 8 supposedly, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so here, the first one is listen, right? So when people click on it, the next page, it will look like this. You have listen still here. And this is a chunk of the MP3, right? And then this is the second one. Second one move to here. The interface enlarge the
Oh, so
listen.
like scope out.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So you can scroll up and down if you want to go to the other section. But you know the interface in the phone is look like it. It can be also look like it in a computer. I don't mind. Okay, so you need to develop one. You don't need to develop two. I just want you guys to interface to be as simple as like that.
Got it. So whenever you click on one of these,
It
like
enlarges.
read, listen, and all
Yeah,
that.
enlarge it and display what's inside. Yeah.
So we can talk about that later, but we want a higher level of what you're doing. We don't really mind about the implementation for now. So what do you want? Do you want your mentors to be able to communicate on cell phones? Is that what you want? Like anywhere, but on their cell phones? So that's what you want?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, everybody is cell phone is ultimate goal. I put this way because you guys, I think it's a good training for you to use it in cell phone instead of use computer. When records show that the people owning cell phone is 5 times more than people using computer in the whole world.
I have a question as
Yes.
well. You mentioned a lot about the driver and the modem. Would it be possible, like, to have an interface for people to call each other through web? Because I know that is also possible. Or does it have to be strictly through phone?
Because we need to record who is calling.
We can do that through web as well.
Through web.
Yeah. Would that be possible?
That is through web, of course, because the service, the modem is connected with the computer. And through a web, if you can do, sure.
Okay.
I have
As
no
long as the caller
able-
can reach a
yeah,
mentor.
yeah. If you using web instead of using the modem that we invested, fine. I have no question. I just need a feature that be able to do that.
Okay.
So
Phone to phone. Yeah.
something like third-party service would be also fine with, right? Like
So-
Twilio.
Third-party service, because we, as I said, we're a very small nonprofit organization. We do not try to invest in any service because
Twilio is an API that lets you do things at scale, so it's very cheap. It's even cheaper than having hardware.
yeah, but with this hardware we use, we do not. Yeah, depends on how much.
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on how much. If you can do something, show me.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do not know. If you already know something can be done, then integrate into it.
Okay. The reason I mentioned that was, well, what if there was like a button somewhere, like
Yeah.
to click a caller, like to call? Like,
Remember I said there's 8 of them?
Yes.
The last one is the talk, right?
Okay.
The talk, you will enlarge it, and inside of this talk, you will say, click a button, as you said, to talk.
Okay.
So the computer will computer will automatically know who is coming and what is available, and just take one from that available and link them together and let them talk.
Got it.
It's fine.
Does it matter if your mentors, do I call them mentors, like the people who volunteer?
Yeah.
Does it matter if they get the same person? If another customer calls again, do they want the same mentor? Can they get someone else?
Picking up a specific mentor you were talking about, do they have the option to choose who I need to talk to? At this moment, I did not require that, but if you want to program it in, you can. You can put the mentor name list so that they can pick. Oh, I talked to Linda last time, and I wanted Linda again this time. I see Linda popped up. Now I want to talk to her. That's fine.
Or we could have its instant message between them, so they could be constantly texting
The
over
chat
time
feature.
also.
Integrate into the chat feature, perhaps.
Yeah, the chat, that's what I was saying. Chat is on number 7. Number 7 is chatting. Yeah, if you want now, that's fine. You can integrate it. The only thing I worried a little about is the policy issue, because I do not want people to using this service. This service, the primary goal is for learning. Okay, for learning not only the language, also learning the culture. But if somebody starting using it as dating, then it defeats the purpose. Okay, so we need to monitoring that somehow.
I see.
So that's why I originally do not want them to be able to fund the same person. I don't want them to build a relationship. And also, when the funding the same person has a possible bad influence in the language, suppose somebody was specific hate something, and he will always feeding the same
Spam,
information
yeah.
and not spam. It just say, I'm thinking United States is like that image, right? So I want them to be able to talk to different people,
Okay.
so they can get a whole
Holistic
sum
approach.
of what United States is about.
Who was your customer? Parents or students?
Students.
Students?
Students.
And they would call in and would ask about the culture of the U.S. or
No, it's not necessary. They just for learning purpose, they can chat anything, weather, whatever, they probably know little about it. For example, somebody mainly those are for people who are interested in Western, either coming here to study. So suppose somebody want to come to San Francisco, so he want to find somebody in San Francisco that what is the weather about that? You know, how you living, where to find housing, and all those kind of things.
I see.
Yeah, the people can get some information about culture. What kind of leisure time you guys do when you have free time? You know.
Should the user see the information about their mentors? Because what situation you describe, for instance, like one student from China want to
Yeah.
come visit San Francisco.
Yeah.
So I suppose the student from China want to connect someone from San Francisco, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to get this right information.
So maybe area is probably good. Group them into area. But I think the major areas that are volunteer right now is in the Bay Area. We're small. I want to developing it into the whole nation. I have not. It depends on your program how good it is. Okay.